comes back into the team, having been the hero in that CPL final. How good was he there? And Ali Khan returns to USA colours for the first time in quite a long time as well. Sarah Netravalker also back into action after missing the tours of the Netherlands and also missing the tour of Namibia with some personal commitments. And that opening partnership of Andries House and Saiteja Mukamala has been a devastating one. It's been really, really impactful for Team USA in this format in particular. They were ever present at the top down in Namibia and put up good scores. In fact, 2 player of the match performances, one from House with 84 and one from Saiteja Mukamala with 85. It's the most wonderful venue, this one. The Grand Prairie Stadium. Major League Cricket have done a phenomenal job, and we're right on the eve of being all set for the national anthems in this, the Stake Stars and Summit Trophy 2024. We will pause for the national anthems now of both Nepal and the United States of America.
Standing with the national anthem of the United States of America.
Well, marvellous moments as the national anthems of both countries sung with great pride, and 600 or 700 fans in through the gates. Expect a few more to come as the working day closes out. We also saw out there Mr. Dean Kosker, the ICC match referee, and our standing umpires today, Aditya Gajar, joined by Vijay Malala with all his experience, and the ever-effervescent Samir Bandekar will be the reserve umpire. We are nearly all set for play. Andrew Leonard here. I'm delighted to have the company.
प्राकृतिक राग भएको विश्वासिलो गुणस्तरीय अनि राम्रो with Ara Sauji. विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नुहुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
Nepal र USA बीच ऐतिहासिक T20 सिरिज
Guys are performing, and it makes it difficult to pick guys in the 11 because you have too many guys performing. That's a good problem to have.
Well, certainly it's going to be interesting to see. We are all set for the start of this Stake Stars and Summit Trophy. Sarab Netravalkar gets us underway, and there's runs immediately through the offside. As it will be Anil Shah who gets off the mark with a couple. They're really interesting make up for the Nepal team as well, Peter. I'll guide you through a couple of the things that certainly have surprised me with the 11 that they've gone with. It's, in essence, a similar squad, not the exact same to the one that they had in Canada. Every single one of the players, with the exception of Sagar Dakhal, who wasn't up in Toronto, has been in North America for 4 to 6 weeks now. Really lengthy tour for them. They played a few games against a high-performance 11 up in King City. As that one floods into the pad, but clearly pitching outside the leg stump. A clap of the hands in appeal from Netravalkar, but they've gone with out Kushal Malla, which is a big call. They dropped him. No Sandeep Lamachani for the moment. Don't have an update on his status just yet. Hopefully we will see him in time for the critical League 2 ODIs. Dev Canal misses out like he did in the last game, and Bim Sharkey's actually back into the squad in place of Arjun Saud, who's not in the squad. Now, Arif Sheikh didn't play a T20 up in Canada, but he's into the team, and he's listed to bat at 7. And the most fascinating part of the lot, Peter, Kushal Bertel, who batted at number 5, 6, and 7 up in Toronto, he's listed to come in at number 3. So another complete change for Nepal. They've had a big wobble to their batting order, and they're going with another amendment to that. It'll be fascinating to see if Kushal Bertel can react accordingly to his new role at number 3.
Just on the whole, this is a world of difference from the last time these two teams played in an official T20 match. The only T20 match these two sides played against each other was at the 2015 T20 World Cup qualifier in Ireland. It was the opening match of Group A back in July 2015 in Belfast. They played at Stormont. And Jesse Singh is the only holdover from USA.
Could use the feet down the track and Elliott stroke it. It's far longer boundary. Very, very large out there. It's going to tease Madank Patel. Well, they probably should have got 3 there. I wonder was Anil Shah just ball watching a touch? He thought he got it better than he did. Just 2 runs to the total.
He wasn't ball watching, he was ball admiring. He thought he had an short boundary out there, and you saw the evidence of how difficult it can be to reach unless you really give it a wallop out there. Much shorter boundary to the opposite side of the ground, just 64 yards. And that's a disparity that will be worth keeping an eye on as play unfolds throughout the next 3+ hours.
It's a beautiful straight drive, so elegant, and you can already see Nepal enjoying being on a different kind of batting surface to the one in King City. It's a world away down in Texas, probably the best batting surface anywhere in the Americas, and you'll see why there with an elegant straight drive for 4.
Well, there's a lot of things that are different about Grand Prairie compared to King City. And this is just one of them. Dave Agnew prepares some outstanding batting wickets. That one just slightly overpitched from Stormman Walker, and Anil's just a firm punch, no real follow through. Whistles off the bat down the ground. Jesse Singh, the only holdover from 2015, and on the Nepal side, in that match they beat USA by 6 wickets in the final over. Sampal Kami, Karen KC, those are the only 2 remaining from 9 years ago when these 2 teams last played in an official T20.
Yeah, the head-to-head record I was telling you about earlier, that's in ODI cricket 5 apiece in that first ever official T20I between these 2 sides. First overs in the books. Nepal off to a nice start, 8-0.
यसपालिको चाडबाडमा स्क्रैच कार्ड मार्फत जित्नुहोस् 10 लाखसम्मको नगद उपहार साथै चुज योर स्किमबाट छान्नुहोस् रु 10,000 सम्मको थप स्क्रैच कार्ड वा 12,500 बराबरको 5 वर्ष एएमसी प्याकेज वा 7 वर्षसम्म बाई 1 गेट 1 सर्भिसिङ फ्री अनि बिग बाइक्समा 1 लाखसम्मको डिस्काउन्ट र यो स्किम होन्डा इजी फाइनान्समा पनि लागू हुनेछ।
As money, the wall had all senior. Picture, please. That the picture, honey. It's the picture coming.
Into United States of America colours. That's a big boost as well, isn't it?
Well, not only is he back, he's got a new number. This is the 3rd number for Ali Khan in his USA career, Lenny. Started off wearing 23, and then he was AK-47, and now he's blended the 2. He's got 43 on the back.
Is that intentional?
That's a question for after the game. We need to do some investigative journalism here.
We don't have. Oh, we do the play numbers on the official team sheet, and it's been handwritten in. The 43 down the leg side. That'll be signalled as a wide
Yes,
by Vijay Malala.
The computer printout was 47, and then they've taken a black pen to turn the 7 into a 3. So we wonder, will this be the only time he'll wear 43 for USA? You don't know.
Certainly looks fit and strong. I know he's had some injury problems. He was on Instagram yesterday posting a very elegant photo of himself. Back in blue, he said, and great to be back in blue. He's been phenomenal, hasn't he? One of the standout associate quick bowlers over the last decade is a fantastic diving stop from the captain, Manan Patel, who doesn't have the gloves on because House has those, and that's 4 runs saved. There is history, though, Peter. Tell us about this history between Ali Khan and Nepal, and particularly their fan base.
Yeah, it was back in Prairie View, just to avoid confusion from the fans.
Was it not in
watching.
Musa? I thought it was in Musa.
Oh, sorry. Here we go. I'm confusing. I'm confusing everybody. I said I was going to try and avoid confusion. I'm introducing confusion.
The Musa Stadium.
Wasn't it Prairie View? There's a couple of venues in Houston, Greater Houston. Pearland, Musa Stadium is South Houston, and Prairie View is Northwest. Yes, it was at Musa Stadium when Ali Khan
Gonna try dash a quick single. Sheikh is very fast and gets on comfortably.
Yeah, he took 3 for 32 against Nepal in a 39-run win. That was on June 15, 2022. And let's just say Ali Khan was a little bit animated on that occasion. This was the match after USA had tied Nepal.
an extraordinary tie.
Depends on which side of the fence you're on.
A tie for the ages, that one.
And that was actually the last time that me and Aman Patel were on the mic together. We're going to be on the mic together again today, Lenny.
Short and an attempted cut shot. I don't think there's anything on it for a massive shake, and it's burst through the gloves. Such is the pace from Ali Khan, and it's given his four boys extraordinary carry and really impressive pace and bounce from Ali Khan. And House, he got two gloves on it, but it just burst through and runs away for four freebies.
Well, that's the fiery pace that USA didn't have in Namibia and in the Netherlands. Ali Khan just brings something different whenever he's in the lineup for USA.
Back on the money this time, and really good positive call from Asif Sheikh for the second time in the over. Gets home for a single. This is better from Nepal after some difficult stuff with the bat up in Canada.
Still early. Yeah, they're negotiating Ali Khan here in his first over. I tell you what else we're seeing here, Lenny, at Grand Prairie. I know you got a soft spot for the sunsets, the beautiful Muscat sunsets, and we saw the sunset as we came in. But the moon rising up over the east side of the stadium. How about that full moon?
It almost looks like a supermoon, doesn't it? I don't think we're in supermoon territory, but a beautiful sort of orange peach moon. We'll show you that in a moment. As Ali Khan is punched into the offside. Good timing. And the Nepal fans that have come in good numbers starting to find their voice. 2 more runs to the total. What a spectacle we have here in Grand Prairie. The end of the second. It's 18 for none.
पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोनले त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो
पैसा पठाउने र पाउने छिटो सजिलो र सुरक्षित माध्यम फोन पे डाइरेक्ट नगद छोडौँ फोन पे गरौँ
Metro will continue into the turnover. Nepal's fans continue to come in. As a mix-up now, this could be half a chance. Oh, direct hit might have been interesting, and it's Kenjige as well, one of USA's finest fielders. Close would this have been, Peter Della Pena?
There are very many degrees of Nash Kenjige's smiles. That's a kind of, I think I might have had a run-out smile, grin on his face. He knew he had it. The chance there. Saab was drifting at his feet.
Driven very pleasingly through the offside. It's going to be a boundary. That one will race away to the larger side of the ground. Over-pitched by Sarah Netravalkar. Maybe just taking a little bit of time to adjust back to the pace of international cricket. And that is a fine stroke, probably the best we've seen this evening thus far.
And again, when he's made a mistake, it's been going too full. He likes to get that fullish length when he has the movement going to draw the outside edge. But on that occasion, just slightly too full. So I know Saab drive a boundary down the ground between mid-on and mid-off. And that time, it's Asif Sheikh getting his first boundary.
Better length this time from Netravalkar, adjusts nicely. Peter, tell us about this venue. Major League Cricket have done, well, I think it's fair to say, a phenomenal job with it, and kind of into its second full season. Now it's really starting to bed in.
They spent a little over $20 million renovating it from its previous incarnation as a minor league baseball stadium. And I think a lot of the people who follow cricket around America would say it's worth every penny. What they've done here, they've made it the crown jewel of cricket venues in America.
Down the leg side, and Sheikh will feel as though he's missed out there. It doesn't just serve as kind of, I suppose, the premier major league cricket venue, though. We saw the minor league finals here recently. Team USA are going to hopefully start using it more and more, like we see for this series too.
Well, the long-term plan was to have an academy, a high-performance center here in Grand Prairie, and this would be the focal point of that. But there's also plans for, in the long term, having a wider academy, having training facilities here, not just having the center wicket. You've got some nets at the back that were installed just prior to the T20 World Cup.
Pulled away, little agricultural, and I'm not altogether sure as to how much over the head of Aaron Jones it was. And oh dear, well, a bit of calamity James out there from Cheyenne Jahangir. And the Nepal fans, they're definitely outnumbering the American fans. They're loving every second of that.
Well, usually I call this an attempt to do your best messy, but because we're in Texas, do I say this is a Clint Dempsey effort? Not a very good one from the man from Nacogdoches, Clint Dempsey. Not sure he would be admiring Cheyenne Jahangir's slide and fumble into the rope there.
Another stylish drive, but straight to Manak Patel, who, I have to say, is in fine form in the field. He was brilliant in the Netherlands, but has been having some battles with the shoulder that ruled him out of those Namibia T20s. 3 overs now in the books, halfway through the power play, 27 for none.
No compromise with Thara Sauji.
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन
मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
पैसा पठाऊ ठाउँ पठाऊ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद चढाऊ फोन पे गरौ हाम्रो जहानमा होमटाको खुसियाली बारमा
So a pretty pleasing start for Nepal. Remember, they lost the toss. They were asked to have a bat first, as is often the way. So kind of a difference of opinions as Major League Cricket progressed, albeit at a very different time of the year. It was perfect cricketing weather, you can imagine. Probably about 68, 69 Fahrenheit, something like that. As we're going to see spin for the first time today. Nosh Kenjigate. With what looks like a pretty sharp cut as well. May well have been to the barber earlier in the week. With Harmeet Singh into the team, Kenjige's almost had to kind of raise his game a touch. Is that fair to say, Peter? But he seems to be reacting very well.
Again, we talked about healthy competition, in essence, forcing Stephen Taylor out of the side, and healthy competition has enabled Kenjige to raise his standards. Harmeet Singh effectively pushed him out of the squad.
Use of the feet down the ground, and it's going to be the first maximum. Possibly the first of many. It's a full flourish from Anil Shah, who looks to be embracing his role in this power play in T20 eyes. That's a good sign of aggressive intent.
Clever use of the crease, backing away from leg stump, knowing Kenjige is going to be a stump-to-stump bowler. Just wanted to create some room to go inside out over mid-off, and did it beautifully, clearing Ali Khan and the rope.
Well, this time it's more of a hack into the leg side. They should think of a second because it's the longer boundary. Aaron Jones will do the fielding, and Shah will pick up a couple. Were you surprised to see Bertel kind of shifted out of his role? He played 48 T20s, and every one of them he'd opened the batting with some pretty good returns, but probably a bit like Stephen Taylor, not many big scores of late, and Monty Desai's had to kind of go searching for a new role for him. He was at 5 and 6 and 7 in Canada. It looks like he's going to be at number 3 today.
Well, so far from what we've seen, can't argue against that change in strategy. Seeing the way Nepal is going here in the early part of the power play, 37 for none, 2 balls to go in the 4th over.
I suppose the question is for Asif Sheikh. Can he supply the fireworks in the power play that are needed alongside Career strike rate in and around 120, only 5 50s in over 50 innings. Doesn't come as naturally to him, does it, the attacking game? And this time he very nearly loses his stumps. Just misses the leg stump to close out Kenjige's first over. 10 from it, 37 for none.
Why choose between your favorites when you can have both? Introducing Pizza Hut's all-new Momo Mia.
Mamma mia.
Best of both worlds on one plate. Momo Mia Pizza. Test the epic. Starting at $7.29. Pizza Hut. There's something for everyone.
So 3 bowlers used thus far, and we're about to see the fourth. It is the man who became USA's 4th T20I captain, Jesse Singh. He took the reins over because the vice captain was at the CPL, Aaron Jones, and the captain, Madank Patel, had a recurrence of that shoulder injury that kept him out of the Super 8 stages, the latter stages of that T20 World Cup. And there's going to be a quick single dashed here, maybe an inside edge. Be interesting to see the signal, because Jesse Singh was interested in the appeal, but it is given as runs. Singh's had good rewards, Peter, isn't he, for what's been a man who's kind of always been on the precipice of the starting 11. He's very much found his form and found his place in the team.
He's somebody who you would say he's never been a first choice option for USA over the course of his career. He's never been an A1 bowler.
He just looks like he's put on a little bit of pace as well through what was an amazing impact in Major League Cricket this summer too, with the Washington Freedom side.
I don't know if he's necessarily put on more pace, but he's gotten a lot more clever with how he goes about his bowling. He used to be somebody who would just search for wickets. He was always somebody who he'd get 3 or 4 dot balls, and then instead of just continuing on that plan and that trajectory, he'd say, that's not good enough. I need to find that magic wicket-taking ball. And often that would be a boundary instead. And now with that experience, especially, you look at that wicket that he took against Kyron Pollard against MI New York, and that to me was evidence of somebody who's really matured. He's been in the team now for 9 years, or in and around the USA setup for 9 years. And I think in the early days, you wouldn't have seen him take a wicket in the manner that he did against Kyron Pollard, where he just had a lot of patience, a lot of discipline, sticking to a plan and making it come off. And I think that's the difference with Jesse Singh nowadays. You've got somebody with that much experience. He's not going to blow you away with his pace, but he's just very experienced.
That's better from Asif Sheikh. Finally gets one out of the screws. Did have to come across the line of the ball, but that's to the shorter side. So good thinking from Sheikh to finally get a boundary for him. He gets to double figures.
And it just shows how good this pitch is. Length ball sits up, heave across the line. Not timed very well, but again, that's the short boundary. And gets there with ease. And now you've got, here in the power play, a deep backward square leg and a deep mid wicket. The 2 boundary riders are trying to protect that short boundary.
It's a stylish stroke, just flicked off his legs. The shorter side, but they will pick up a couple as the fielding's done by young Saiteja Mukamala, who's had the most marvellous 2 months. Had to wait for his chance, didn't he, in the Netherlands? But when he finally got it, well, how did he take it with 2 hands? You talk about the young talent that Nepal have. USA have unearthed something special in Saiteja Mukamala.
And what's so exciting about him is he's gotten the opportunity as a homegrown talent. It's one thing that USA maybe perhaps hasn't done very well over the years, is give opportunities to young players like him.
Good delivery from Singh, that just jagged back in off the seam. He can't believe he doesn't have the first wicket. End of the 5th over, 1 over remains in the power play. 46 for none.
No compromise with Dhara Saoji.
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन
Mutu sign, sir. Mutu.
Fascinating team selection, you'd have to say, for Nepal today. Probably the biggest surprise, no Kushal Malla. You would think, Peter, if Monty Desai is taking a look at the makeup of the American attack, there's almost certain to be 8 overs of left-arm spin, isn't there? You'd imagine Kenjige and Harmeet Singh are very likely to bowl their overs. Would he not have wanted another left-hander to attack them?
It's not just that. He's the most explosive hitter. Yes, you could say Dipendra Singh Iyer is the one who's got 6 sixes in an over in international cricket. And he's also somebody who's hit 6 sixes off 6 consecutive balls. Not in the same over. But I would argue Kushal Malla is actually a much more devastating power hitter on a more consistent basis. And USA knows what he can do. As a teenager, back in 2020, right before COVID, he had a blistering half century.
Well, it's a stylish stroke, but deep backward point is out. The very in vogue position there is Kushal Malla behind Harmeet Singh. Yeah, broke Sachin Tendulkar's record there, didn't he? The youngest ever to make an ODI 50 in Kathmandu. Had a tricky time up in King City. His scores of 12, 4, 30 and 19, all at less than a ball, were very unlike him. But I think it's hard to judge someone on those pitches up there. The highest score in the whole series was 176 that Nepal made, but there was games where Oman were bowled out for 82. It was difficult batting conditions. They're thinking about the single, but they're not going to get it because this is being given. And Ali Khan is revving up the Nepal fans. You felt this was probably going to miss leg, but the finger went up immediately.
Well, Ali Khan is giving his best Hollywood Hogan heel turn for the crowd. Even though this is a home game, you got much more Nepal fans in here at Grand Prairie. This one, back of the length, and that is a marginal decision, I got to say. At best, that one is clipping leg stump on umpire's call. Might have just shaved the stumps, though. You never know. Lenny, umpire below, I thought it was good enough. And I tell you the other giveaway on that one, Lenny. Andres House didn't really appeal from behind the stumps. It was only Ali Khan who went up for it. But he got the decision in his favor.
Anil Shah has gone for 20.
जितौँ 10 लाखको उपहार यसपालिको चाडबाडमा स्क्रैच कार्ड मार्फत जित्नुहोस् 10 लाखसम्मको नगद उपहार साथै चुज योर स्किमबाट छान्नुहोस् रु 10,000 सम्मको थप स्क्रैच कार्ड वा 12,500 बराबरको 5 वर्ष एएमसी प्याकेज वा 7 वर्षसम्म बाई वन गेट वन सर्भिसिङ फ्री अनि बिग बाइक्समा 1 लाखसम्मको डिस्काउन्ट र यो स्किम होन्डा इजी फाइनान्समा पनि लागू हुनेछ.
Well, Peter, I have to say, I was hardly even looking at the umpire. I didn't anticipate, as you said, Andres House from behind the stumps wasn't appealing. Ali Khan has that very round arm action, so it's going to naturally be kind of slanting down. But he's pumped up, and didn't he love it? Gave it straight away to the Nepal fans. Kushal Bertel in at number 3. For the first time in his T20 career, and Ali Khan is pumped up. Oh, there's a word or two now as well. Here's one more look at the LBW, Peter.
Just look at Andres House behind the stumps. He's going really to pick up the ball. No interest in appealing. That's really a huge context clue as to really the strength of an appeal there. He had no interest whatsoever. It was only Ali Khan who went up. You could say a 50-50 call goes USA's way. I would say that's more of a 99-1 call that went USA's way.
Yeah, certainly a surprise. Slip comes into place. Aaron Jones. There's the short balls dug in, but no real pace off the surface. And I think it's fair to say Ali Khan is, well, just pushing the envelope a touch. And when it comes down, just to have a word with Khan, just to tell him to calm down.
And the other thing, too, for viewers at home, if you're wondering why we had maybe a slightly delayed reaction recognizing the finger went up, we are at a very wide mid-off angle in our broadcast position. So if we're looking at the batter on strike, the umpire necessarily isn't always in our line of vision looking where the ball is going.
Driven Nice way for Bertel to get off the mark. Should be at least a couple. And it will be. Bertel wants the third, but he's sent back, and rightly so. Has to get the dive in to get back. So a dramatic action-packed over, including the first wicket, rounds out the power play. Nepal maybe were ahead. Is it honours even now? The score, the 50s come up. It's 50 for 1.
नो कम्प्रोमाइज विथ भारत साउजी विजेजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ
पैसा पठाउँ ठाउँ पठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडाउँ फोन पे गरौँ
Aman Patel is now going to give the ball to his other left-arm spinner, Harmeet Singh. As Aman Patel joins me in the commentary box. Nearly a chance as Ali Khan slow to react at short third with a diving effort and gets a high five from Naj Kenjigate. Harmeet Singh has been a catalyst for some big moments for USA. Nearly had one there, Aman.
Yeah, he nearly did, didn't he, Peter? Thank you for that. It's been a very fiery start. Ali Khan has been in part of all the action so far, delivered that first wicket, nearly delivered wicket number 2. And Harmeet Singh, if he gets in on the act, I'm sure he'll have a couple of words as well. He's known as one of those characters across the USA circuit. And these are kind of the key overs now for the USA. This is the left-arm spinner that has really made shockwaves since he's come into international cricket. And now for Harmeet Singh, he's again going to be looked upon by Manik Patel. I'm curious to see, does he go 4 straight? Or does Manik Patel use him sparingly? We've seen him used in different ways, Peter, throughout different competitions in Major League Cricket. He was used 4 consecutive every game from the Seattle Orcas. They said 4 on the trot. Other times in minor league, he's spaced himself out. So curious to see how Manik Patel likes to use him now.
Just getting the scores fixed. There was a single taken on that near chance to short third, and then a subsequent single taken by Kushal Bartel. So Asif Sheikh back on strike, and this one tickled off the pads as Ned Chavalkar gives chase, and it's going to be signaled a leg by.
Yeah, Nepal will want to be wary of Harmeet Singh. He hasn't played the conclusion of minor league cricket. He's strapped up, but most of his minor league cricket games for the Dallas Explorer Giants happened here in Grand Prairie. So he's very accustomed to what the surfaces are going to do. We see a missed field. Probably could have led to a second, but will just be the one.
And it's not just him. A lot of the guys in American cricket have made Dallas their home in recent times. Andres Strauss as well as Harmeet Singh both started up in Seattle. They've since both moved to Dallas. And Nash Kenjigay makes Dallas his home now as well. As this one is cut to Kenjigay at backward point for a dot. You've got Simon Kamala in New Jersey. Sarvna Chavalkar is still up in the Bay Area. This one must have hit something going down the leg side. No wide called, so it's going to be dot to finish the over. 3 runs off the bat, and a leg by makes 4 runs in the over. 54 for 1 after 7.
नो कम्प्रोमाइज विथ भारत साउजी विजेजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
पैसा पठाउँ ठाउँ पठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडाउँ फोन पे गरौँ
As I said, he's one of the guys who has now made Dallas his home. It shows the growing stature of this part of America in terms of the cricket community.
And Peter, he's very accustomed to this ground, and he actually has some of his best performances here. Think about Major League in 2023. This was where he broke out and became a fixture for MI New York, and then in the minor league final in 23, player of the match. Took a couple of wickets, scored some runs, had a crucial run out. And that's why Nash Kinjige doesn't get outed by a Harmeet Singh coming in, you reckon? Just because he affects the game in so many different ways, it's just hard to keep him out because he just provides that bit of electricity throughout a bowling innings or even with the bat in the later stages.
He's obviously also such an impact player, backward point in the ring. Too short on this occasion, and getting down on a knee to sweep this very fine, teasing that Travalkar all the way to the rope. It's going to be a boundary for Nepal as Asif Sheikh. Do you want to call that a pull sweep? It was a bit too short for an orthodox sweep, but gets it down to the rope nonetheless.
Yeah, I feel the USA have overreacted to a couple of strokes through the offside. They've attacked the legs and straight down the legs far too often to open up this innings.
Much better from Kenjige, and again, fielding off his own bowling to deny another single there. So just one ball left in this 8th over. There's an awful lot of real estate where he's trying to deny that run as well. There's nobody in front of square in the ring on the leg side. Deep back of square, deep mid-wicket on that big boundary. Long on, long off, and a cover sweeper in place. This one is chopped towards Mukamala in the offside ring, who will collect for a single, 6 runs in the over. It's 60 for 1 after 8.
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई-सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ starting from just ₹760 a year. Get coverage up to 5.3 lakhs. Download the e-Sewa app and secure your future today.
He had a 5-wicket haul in his last appearance for USA down in Namibia. This one cleaned up by Jahangir out at deep mid-wicket, so they'll keep it to just 1. And again, talking about Milind Kumar, Aman, it's another piece of the puzzle in this USA squad that just highlights how much bowling depth they now have in recent times.
Yeah, and I've been impressed the way Milind has changed the way he bowls. When he came into the country first, bowled out in the East, and he flighted it up quite a bit more. Since has gone with those quicker off spinners and has found a lot of success in that facet. And this feels like a wicket where he would have a lot of success. There aren't a lot of cracks. It's nice and hard, so you get through the air quickly. You don't give the batters much time to get underneath you, and you almost keep them trying to reach for it. And I think Milind Kumar just could have, if you see Nash Kenjige get hit for another couple boundaries, I think Milind might just come in and just change things up for Monik Patel.
He's out to deep mid-wicket. It's going to go wide of Jahangir. 1 bounce 4 into the Nepal dugout, giving the away home fans, should we call them, something to cheer about. Huge Nepalese community here in Dallas, and they're loving that shot off the bat of Asif Sheikh.
Yeah, it just got predictable to Jesse Singh. Asif was just sitting on that length. He just went too far back of it. Cleared Shine Jahangir that time. That's a good stroke, and again, that run rate continues to tick. We reckon you got to get close to 170 to 180 to really give yourself a fighting chance on this batting surface. It's a good start so far.
This one goes out to Jones at cover sweeper. Very unusual that you see a cover sweeper field 20 yards inside the rope, but again, a reminder for those of you just joining us, it's an 82-yard boundary on that side of the ground tonight and 64 yards on the opposite side, the grandstand side of the venue. So that's why Jones is cheating in about 20 yards off the rope, because if he stays on the rope, that's going to be an automatic 2. So the boundary alignment for USA right now, deep backward square leg, deep mid wicket, long on, cover sweeper in a deep third, mid off is up in the ring. And now just a tap and run single. Taking on Kenjigate, who misses with the shy of the stumps, but Jahangir backing up at deep mid wicket means it'll just be a single.
I've been impressed with the way Nepal have played that boundary as well. You see the spinners coming on from the river end, the opposite end of the ground that you're seeing now. And everything that's on their legs, unless it's very, very straight and quick, they've looked to play over cover because that's their shorter ring. So they're jumping outside their stumps, looking to push that way. You can see here against Jesse Singh, they're freeing up room for their arms to go through the leg side of the ball. And then if it's well outside, they'll just push for one. So they're understanding where their bread is buttered on this pitch, on this type of a surface with the dimensions the way they are. Again, good smart batting for Nepal as they come back to Grand Prairie after a disappointing run of games here in the World Cup.
Slight change in the field on that previous ball just now as Kenjigate is pushed out to deep backward point with Ali Khan coming up in the ring, and then Kenjigate will collect that for a single. So ends a 9 run over, 69 for 1 after 9.
Picture please. Picture honey. It's the picture coming. Picture.
Why choose between your favorites when you can have both? Introducing Pizza Hut's all-new Momo Mia.
Mamma mia.
The best of both worlds on one plate. Momo Mia Pizza. Test the epic. Starting at $7.29. Pizza Hut. There's something for everyone.
As Dhamma Patel is Harmeet Singh going to bowl 4 straight. In a manner of sorts, he still has a chance. He's just switched ends, so he bowled one over the opposite end, and now he comes on from the broadcast end for his second over in the 10th. Bullseye! Harmeet rattles the stumps, pumps his fists, and now it's 69 for 2.
And this is why Harmeet Singh is so very good. He recognized what Nepal is trying to do. Create room to free their arms through the offside. This time, a touch fuller, stayed straight onto the bat. And that time, no room to clear his arms over that cover boundary. That's brilliantly done from Harmeet Singh. And the USA have picked up wicket number 2, 69 for 2. As that'll be drinks here in...
Senior. Picture please. Picture honey. It's the picture coming. Picture.
Why choose between your favorites when you can have both? Introducing Pizza Hut's all-new Momo Mia.
Mamma mia.
The best of both worlds on one plate. Momo Mia Pizza. Test the epic. Starting at $7.29. Pizza Hut. There's something for everyone.
पैसा पठाऊ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडाऊ फोन पे गरौँ हाम्रो चाडमा औँठाको खुसियाली बारमा जितौँ 10 लाखको उपहार यसपालिको चाडबाडमा स्क्रैच कार्ड मार्फत जित्नुहोस् 10 लाखसम्मको नगद उपहार साथै चुज योर स्किमबाट छान्नुहोस् रु 10,000 सम्मको थप स्क्रैच कार्ड वा 12,500 बराबरको 5 वर्ष एएमसी प्याकेज वा 7 वर्षसम्म बाई वन गेट वन सर्भिसिङ फ्री अनि बिग बाइक्समा 1 लाखसम्मको डिस्काउन्ट र यो स्किम होन्डा इजी फाइनान्समा पनि लागू हुनेछ
As when no senior. Picture please. Picture honey. It's the picture coming. Picture.
Why choose between your favorites when you can have both? Introducing Pizza Hut's all-new Momo Mia.
Mamma mia.
The best of both worlds on one plate. Momo Mia Pizza. Test the epic. Starting at $7.29. Pizza Hut. There's something for everyone.
Delivery angled in from around the wicket. So, Bertel on 7 at the non-striker's end. They opt not to bring a slip into place. Again, the boundary alignment. There's a cover sweeper, long on, long off, deep mid wicket. Just 4 men on the boundary at the moment for the new bat Powell as he gets off strike with a single.
Yeah, Rohit will be the key man here for Nepal. He's coming off a really good run with the batting Canada on tough wickets. He was the second leading run scorer in that tri-series, and I want to bring that form back to down to Grand Prairie, and this partnership is going to be important. They're running for 2. This is good. This is what's going to be needed against Harmeet Singh. You're not going to be able to hit him for many boundaries. They don't come quite often. And with the longer boundary out on that side of the ground to the leg side, if you tuck it there, there's probably always 2 involved.
Especially when you've got no protection in the ring inside of the leg side in front of square. Long way for Ali Khan to run to track that one down. And they ran that second easily. Good awareness from both Bertel and Rohit Paudel. Now going for the sweep. And there is protection out of deep backward square, so it'll just be a single.
Yeah, again, we mentioned that partnership. We mentioned here the ability to rotate is going to be so key. Even though you're eyeing 180, there's so many different gears you can get to in T20 cricket, and I feel some people lose that, the ability just to find one, and that's why Baldo, when they went to Canada on that tough wicket, was able to find success. He's not so dependent on the boundary balls. You can do this, get another 2 runs, soft hands through mid-wicket, and he's going to run Kushal Bertel around as well.
Very shrewd cricket we're seeing here from Nepal, the captain. As soon as he tapped that one off the bat, he weighted it very nicely. Aaron Jones, a long way to come in off the boundary, even though he's already cheating in 10 to 15 yards already on that huge boundary on that side of the ground. 82 yards on that side. And Aaron Jones, in spite of the fact that he is arguably USA's fastest runner, he couldn't put off that second. So 1 ball left in the over. More flight this time. And Rohit Paudel didn't seem to know what to do with that one. Tried to tap it into the offside, but Kenjige swoops in to deny the run. 6 runs and the wicket off the first ball of the over. As Harmeet dismisses Asif Sheikh. 75 for 2 after 10.
No compromise with Dhara Sauji.
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन
मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
पैसा ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद चढाउ फोन पे गर हाम्रो चाहमा औटाको खुसियारी बारमा
Kenjige. Bullseye. Nash. Gets the wicket. And Kushal Bertel tried to use his feet and it backfired. It's 75 for 3.
Again, trying to use the feet to just drop one and get a single. Wasn't trying to go big. Problem was he was playing for more turn than there was. I think this one just continued on with the arm from Kenjige and rattles on to off stump. This is a great start here from the 2 left arm spinners. Again, Nash Kenjige, this is what he does. Harmeet Singh gets a wicket and Nash is able to take advantage at the other end. Over number 11 opens up with the wicket, 75 for 3.
No compromise with Dhara Sauji.
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन
मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
पैसा पठाउ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद चढाउ फोन पे गर हाम्रो चाहमा औटाको खुसियारी बारमा
75 for 3 in the 11th as one of 2 left-handers in the Nepal lineup. Gulshan Jha comes to the crease. Kenjige and Harmeet Singh, the left-arm spinners, taking wickets in consecutive overs to start off each over. And Ja, the 18-year-old, was mighty impressive up in King City with the bat. This one a little bit shorter.
The interesting decision to bring Gulshan Jha now. Again, he had a great run with the bat in King City, but made a name as a finisher, striking it at over 170. You just feel on this surface, you can save him for the last 5, keep some wickets in hand, and let him tee off then. Asking him to almost rebuild, as Rohit Baldo does well, to get back into the crease. Just feels out of place for a youngster who is just finding his footing in international cricket.
Goes big, and he's going to clear. Jesse Singh it long on. That is a huge 6 on the deepest side of the ground.
Well, Gulshan Jha just said, Aman Patel, what do you know? It doesn't matter if it's over 15 or over 11. I'm going to find the full ball and send it over the rope for 6. That's brilliantly done. It's a longer side of the ground as well, and he's just picked it up. Touched over pitch from Kenjige, but it just speaks to the power of Gulshan Jha.
It's a most impressive hit, considering the way the boundary dimensions have been divided up on this wicket tonight. This time, not quite as lusty. Well short of long off. And they'll hit just a single for that. Well, we've only counted 5 balls. I've only written down 5 balls. Unless I missed something there. They've called the over.
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ starting from just rupees 760 a year. Get coverage up to 5.3 lakhs. Download the eSewa app and secure your future today.
Well, pencil and paper has never failed humanity since the time of the Egyptians, Aman. I only wrote down 5, and our graphics crew only had 5 balls, and there's a reason for that, because there were only 5 balls. So everybody's got to get back in the position now for the final ball of the over.
Oh, it wasn't, the graphics didn't even fail that time, Peter, so I can't even blame the internet on that one, but there we go. Got it rectified in the end. I think all Nepal fans will be happy. I actually did hear the screams from the crowd, 1 ball. And they want to see Rohit Baldo get one more delivery from Naj Kenjige. This could go one of 2 ways. This could be a really good sign for Nepal. You can get a boundary from this. It could end up being a dot, or this might be Kenjige's 2nd wicket of the day. How often you talk about a break and play creates those wickets.
Paulo, such good footwork. He's looking for 2, but again, on the shorter boundary, it's going to be a lot more difficult to get. Now we've got the over officially completed. 8 runs and a wicket. It's 83 for 3 after 11.
चलिहाल्छ नि बस्नुहोस्
अब पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोन पे त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो पैसा पठाउने र पाउने छिटो सजिलो र सुरक्षित माध्यम फोन पे डाइरेक्ट नगद छोडौँ फोन पे गरौँ
84 for 3 at the start of the 12th over is Ali Khan, who's already taken a wicket tonight. Comes back for his 3rd over. Usually they would hold both of his remaining overs back at the 10th. They're bringing him back here in the 12th. What do you make of this, Aman?
Well, they're looking to break this partnership. I think Morning Patel knows that this is the moment. These 2 are the 2 bats in form. Can you get one of Baldo or Jha, you would really just start to make inroads into this Nepali lineup. And Peter, I think this might be the first time Ali Khan's ever gotten booed playing in Texas. This is where he calls home. And as he comes into bowl, the Nepali fans have let him have it, but he feels like a Terrell Owens who played for the Cowboys. He likes to be the villain. He likes to be the showman, getting the hate.
Well, all we need, Aman, is for there to be a giant star painted overlaying the square, and then Ali Khan takes a wicket and just stands on the star with his arms outstretched, and then we get the full Terrell Owens.
Well, if the saying goes that the reason the star was there and the sunlight is in on AT&T Stadium is that God watches from that patch of sunlight. If God is watching any cricket in the United States, you'd have to imagine it's at Grand Prairie Stadium, so there would be no bigger stage for Ali Khan to do it. But again, I don't think Nepal is going to fall into this trap of feeling they need to win the battle. Just you see the nature of Rohit Baudo, how calm he is, even with his young stature. He just senses out the occasions, understands when to go big, when to slow things down. For Gulshan Jha, this would be a good test. Again, Ali Khan, I think, is going to want to entice him. We saw him work on the slower deliveries and warm-ups. Do we see them now?
Pace on. It goes off the pads. It's going to be a leg by, finally signaled by Vijay Malala.
You just feel things have kind of heated up a little bit. Naj Kenjige with the direct hit. Something's going to give with Ali Khan bowling. He's going to be searching for a wicket ball. Baudo's going to be comfortable taking ones or twos, but he's able to put the bad ones away. You just feel Ali Khan is almost one delivery away from trying his Yorker. Trying to force it, hearing the crowd as he runs in.
We talked about the Yorker, but the field is set for that short ball, that bouncer. He's got a deep backward square leg and a deep square leg out in place along with a deep third as Rohit Baudo. He's not going to back down from Ali Khan, but Ali Khan is looking awfully feisty out there right now.
And he's made sure to tell Rohit Baudo, he said too quick on the way through. And Ali Khan, he's a character, he's in the contest, and you mentioned what happened in 2022 down here in Texas and the ODIs, and it's no love lost 2 years later.
Does search out the Yorker, doesn't get it full enough as Jahangir with a brief bobble, but still keeps it to just a single.
And again, really smartly done from Rohit Baudo, you'd have to say. All he's done there is just push it into the gap and not try to put any impetus on to Ali Khan. He's let Ali Khan play his game, and this would be good for Gulshan Jha at the other end, who, as a young cricketer, you can kind of just let your emotions get swayed to one side or the other based on the flow of the game. But to see your captain standing out there just would give you that sense of calm as we see long off being brought into the ring by Ali Khan.
Back of the length. And beats Mukamala, sliding across a deep backward square leg against a short boundary over there. He tucked up Gulshan Jha, but Jha negotiated that delivery very nicely to get a boundary.
Yeah, did really well there. Picked up the pace and pushed it away. Nepal fans loving it. As we close out over number 12, it's 90 for 3.
No compromise with Dhara Sauji. विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
पैसा पठाउँ ठाउँ पठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडाउँ फोन पे गरौँ
Well, but it's been done through changing ends after each over. So he bowled the 7th from this end, then switched ends to come on for the 10th, and now he's come back from this same end for the start of the 13th. He's taken one wicket. Baudo using his feet elegantly. This one's going to land safely. They're going to come back for 2. A lot of real estate out there before Jesse Singh can collect Gonna relay it back.
Yeah, looked out there, Rohit Bodal. Didn't intentionally just chip it over there. He's looking to play big for that six. It's just, again, we talked about the boundary dimensions over there. And I think that's why Harmeet Singh is running from this end of the ground, understanding that these two are going to look to score in that region.
Sweep in the air. It's not going to carry to Yasser Muhammad, who's on as a substitute at the moment for USA. Poto loves that sweep shot. And it's not got to go very far to clear that boundary on the leg side, but he's also got to be careful. That nearly was a catching opportunity for Yasser Muhammad.
And this will be the interesting matchup. You'll have the left arm spinner bringing it back in to the left-handed. Yeah, you'll favor that, but again, the boundary being bigger to the leg side of the left-hander with a subtle breeze blowing from that direction. Odds stacked against hitting boundaries in that area. Gulshan Jha would have to be aware. Harmeet Singh will want to entice that as backward point and third man come inside the ring.
Goes reverse. Bullseye! Harmeet hits the stumps for a second time tonight. He tried to get too adventurous, did Gulshan Jha, pays the price. It's 93 for 4.
Yeah, we've talked about it. Knew that he couldn't access that leg side because of the bigger boundary, and with point and third man inside the ring, he's elected to try to take it over that region, but it's too full yet again to sweep. We've seen it once already. It's just too full. It's gone straight through him. You mentioned Clint Dempsey earlier. That's a nutmeg. If we were talking soccer and the USA and Harmeet Singh, they're loving life at the moment. They pick up wicket number 4. It's 93 for 4.
No compromise with Dhara Sauji.
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन
मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
पैसा पठाऊ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडाऊ फोन पे गर हाम्रो चाहमा औटाको खुसियाली पारमा
Nepal 93 for 4. DS Irie comes to the crease. On his passport it says Dipendra Singh Irie. I like to call him Dynamite Singh Irie. He's explosive.
He's well worth that title, Peter. You've already talked about it. 6 sixes in and over and 6 different balls. But it's a tough challenge facing Harmeet Singh. And again, this is exactly why Monik Patel has brought him in. He's searching for that wicket. He's trying to get Irie into the middle as early as possible. Don't let him sit for the last 5 and play the role he likes to. Make him have to rebuild.
Harmeet not allowing him to get off the mark here, cramping him for room.
Again, this is how good Harmeet Singh is. He varies his length, so when we've seen the odd delivery too full, and then this time he's pulled it back.
Continues to keep him tied down with that back of a length as Irie can't find a single in the ring. Kenjige cuts it off. So 3 runs in the over, but more importantly, the wicket of Gulshan Jha. It's 93 for 4 after 13.
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ starting from just rupees 760 a year. Get coverage up to 5.3 lakhs. Download the eSewa app and secure your future today.
Seven overs remain for Nepal to work with. You would imagine these two at the crease going to be critical. And one of the things that Rohit Powell likes to do, he likes to late cut and dab and scoop and use the pace on the ball. But the two left-arm spinners, particularly Harmeet Singh, outstanding again, Aman Patel.
Yeah, yet again, we've talked about it. Since he's come into international cricket, he's been so very good, whether it's the ODI format or the T20 format. It's the reason he was the number 1 overall pick in Major League Cricket back in 2023. And Ash Kenjige showing he's no slouch either.
Big kind of litmus test here now, isn't there, for Nepal as well? What we'll see them do is run between the wickets cleverly, but this batting order, it's a drastic change, isn't it? Arif Sheikh into the team, but he's not in yet. He's at number 7, and then it's the 2 all-rounders, Sampal Kami and Karen Casey at 8 and 9, and then really just the 2 bowlers after that. You were speculating that maybe Gulshan Jazz come in too early, and then with no Kushal Malla in the side, it isn't the makeup that I thought we'd see in the 11. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I can understand Simple Khan coming in, just trying to get that seam option on this surface that might offer a little bit of swing. But you mentioned Kushal Malla. He is the kind of batter that will dig in and just kind of sustain your innings and allow your bigger hitters around him to flourish. And without him, you just feel Ja and Irie can tend to get out of place. They're forced to bat in situations that are different.
There's also no Lalit Rajbanshi in the team, so very contrasting approaches from the 2 sides. Obviously, USA will have better experience of the conditions, but both teams were here during the T20 World Cup. Shouldn't be completely alien. 3 batters in the 15 that we've now been given. Wasn't really much of a squad announcement. I think they were still trying to work out whether they could get Sandeep Lamachani in time or not. As Dipender Singh Irie, well, quite stunning. That is the stroke of the day. The 100's come up. It's the stroke of the series thus far. He's joined an exclusive list with 6 sixes and an over this year. And this shot, every bit better than him. Inside out over extra, all the way for 6.
And Nash Kunjige read that as well. He's pushed it out even straighter towards him. And even then, he's adjusted very, very late. Kept the shape on the short side of the ground. Ends up being 6. And it's more the footwork, everything that happened before he played the ball that made that 6 so special. And then you just have to add, he played into out over extra cover.
Absolutely stunning stroke. And maybe a sign of things to come if Irie can get going in the last 6. Nepal have a good platform. What can they do with it? It's 105 for 4.
पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोनपे त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो पैसा पठाउने र पाउने छिटो सजिलो र सुरक्षित माध्यम फोनपे डाइरेक्ट नगद छोडौँ फोनपे गरौँ.
Both to double figures and going about it in different ways. Nosh Kenjige's finished his spell. 4 overs, 1 for 36 for him. Little expensive today. 6 overs remain, Aman. 160, probably not going to be enough, is it, on what looks a very good batting surface? Nepal would want more than that.
Yeah, again, we speculated 180 is probably what you're looking at. Having been here just 10 days ago for that minor league final, 173 was chased down with about 3 overs to go. 180 is definitely achievable, but when you bowl well, things can happen. We saw a team got bowled out for 126 on the surface. 36, all that was the lowest score we saw. So definitely things can happen. Give yourself an uphill task if you don't get to that 170 mark.
Netravalkar to return. Dipender Singh Irie fascinates me as a cricketer in everything he does. He does it at 1,000,000 miles an hour. He runs between the wickets swiftly. He fields exceptionally well. I think his bowling in this format's so good, but his batting in some ways is underrated, isn't it, in T20 cricket? You look at his career numbers. He's the leading run scorer in this format. He's got one of the best strike rates, over 140, and he's averaging more than 35. Why was he batting number 8 in Canada?
You're almost thinking about the wicket almost. I think it's probably what Monte Desai did. He was just thinking it would save him, try to hit bigger, try to get a guy to be a finisher and play in a more natural approach. And not force him to try to dig out innings. And like you mentioned, his strike rate is so good. I just feel that maybe Monte Desai felt that let's just have him play his natural game. It came off in a couple of matches, but it did feel low even as an outsider watching in.
Yeah, he didn't probably get the returns that you would have expected. He was coming in right at the death. In fact, in one of the games, I think he was in with only 5 balls away, and he got 18 off 5 balls. So certainly you'd think he's been underutilised. So I think him up the order is a good thing, up to number 5, but probably would have kept with Kushal Malla in there as well, particularly with the 2 left-arm spinners in the USA lineup. Almost too many options sometimes for Nepal. But Irie, well, he looks full of verve, doesn't he? And he's very much into his work. These 2 are lightning quick between the wickets. But Jones, cleverly, he's 15, 20 yards off that bigger boundary, cuts off the second.
Yeah, something to watch for. Again, that's where this game feels like it's going to be won or lost. Your ability to take advantage of that bigger boundary as a fielding unit, and then again as a batting unit. How does that chess match continue to play? We've seen Aaron Jones be up 15 yards, and then we've seen other fielders kind of drift towards the rope, and that's when Baldo was able to take a couple of twos alongside Gusha Bertel. So curious to see how that plays for the rest of this innings and then into the USA innings.
Innovation. Oh, an exceptional innovation. It's not going to be 6, but it will be 4. We were just talking about how he likes to ramp and scoop and use the pace on the ball. He sees his fine leg up in the circle, and he gets it for a critical boundary. Good stroke.
Well, it's a safe shot because fine leg is inside the ring. Just had to get any bit of bat on it. He's got it outside the off stump as well. Well done. There again, we talked about his ability to play behind square. Rohit Baldo, he's able to do it yet again, and this is why this 24-year-old is really just ascended into Nepali stardom. The captain now, and again, he's put together a fine knock.
He's a fine captain as well. He's certainly grown with the role as he's taken the reins. It has been a tricky year in some ways for Nepal. There hasn't been the wins the fans have wanted. This one's guided away. Should be a couple again because Powell's so quick between the wickets despite the fact that it's Kenjigay. Oh, he is rapid, isn't he? Himself and Dipender Singh Airi, as quick as there are for Nepal and maybe as quick as there are in the world game. Exceptional running again.
Yeah, and that's why you're almost surprised about the results column for Nepal this year. They haven't gotten those wins. The World Cup, they were close to beating South Africa. I remember you were hanging your heart on that game down there when we were in Florida. But
I was in a dark place at the end of that game. Is that fair to say?
I think that's fair. I think physically and emotionally, you were both in a dark place.
I didn't know what to feel. I was so proud of one of the best associates. I was so proud of all the associates at the World Cup, but it was the game of the tournament, wasn't it, in so many ways? And it just was so close. Heartbreaking. The way Gulshan Jazz bounced back since then, I've been so impressed with. 5 remain. 1-1-4.
Azwani, the Wuhan all senior. Big jobless. That the Wuhan. It's the big coming. Big job.
Why choose between your favorites when you can have both? Introducing Pizza Hut's all-new Momo Mia.
Mamma mia.
Best of both worlds on one plate. Momo Mia Pizza. Test the epic. Starting at $7.29. Pizza Hut. There's something for everyone.
Had that 5-wicket haul, didn't he? Second in T20I history for USA.
Yeah, I think it's just because Harmeet Singh was continuing to produce wickets, and that got Nosh Kenjigay to find his way into the wicket column. I think had you seen Nosh go wicketless in his third over, probably would have seen Milind Kumar in. But it just goes to show the amount of bowling options you have if you're USA, and Monik Patel uses his bowlers so well.
You know, Yasser Mohammed today, the leg spinner, not in the team, and Janoy Drysdale also missing out, who's had some good moments since he came into the international game. Big over this one. It's the last one of Harmeet Singh. And immediately paddles down the ground at him. Harmeet Singh, you probably were watching the coverage. I know you were watching the coverage in the Netherlands. You started to get a sense as to just how impactful he's going to be. I know at any level, we saw him at the World Cup, exceptional. But at the associate level, for USA, they have uncovered an absolute diamond here.
I think there's the ability to adjust. I think a lot of times in the limited format game, it's all about your ability to adapt to situations. And a lot of associate cricket is about how well you can adapt, how quickly you can adapt. That's what Netherlands are, one of the more unbeatable sides, because even in tricky situations, they find a way to carve out good innings with the ball or the bat. And Harmeet Singh does just that. While he's someone with the bat is very explosive, he can carve out an innings. And then with the ball, you just saw it there. He knows Baldo's going to sweep him. He's pulled the length, slowed it down. He's just changed things.
Misfield, bit of a sloppy piece of work there at backward point. Powell's even thinking of the third. Yeah, he just looks like the kind of guy who in an ODI is not going to go for more than 40, and in a T20, if you take him for more than a run of ball, you probably had a pretty decent day against him. He's picked up the 2 wickets here. Fast hands from Irie. Poor Misfield. Might have been, it was Saiteja Mukamala, wasn't it, at backward point? Then the leg side whipped around the corner. Protection out there. Will cut it off, and brilliant work from Kenjigay. Cuts off the second as well.
Pretty smart batting as well from Dipender Singh Airi. It's a similar way he got into that stroke that he hit Nosh Kenjigay for that 6 over extra cover. Harmeet Singh was much quicker through the air, so he just used his wrist to whip it around. You saw him make that extra room, and that's why Dipender Singh Airi, again, always in the runs, because he's just able to find gaps and manufacture those scoring options.
Don't think it's a bad result for Nepal here just to get through this over. It's rare you'd say that in the 16th. But with 4 to remain, with pace coming back on the ball from Ali Khan, and with Jesse Singh to target, I know he's got better at the death. These two are just so critical. It's only really Arif Sheikh to come as an out-and-out batter. Get through the spell. Don't give Harmeet Singh a third wicket. They'll do a bit better than that. They'll get a single. It rounds out an exceptional spell of bowling. They're going to get 2. I've no idea how they've got 2 there. Depender Singh Ari's run 2 faster than I talked 1. At the end of the 16th, it's 121 for 4.
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई-सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ starting from just rupees 760 a year. Get coverage up to 5.3 lakhs. Download the e-sewa app and secure your future today.
Cracks in that wicket, all comes on nicely, and you have a USA team that's kind of on a bit of a roll with the bat in hand. Saiteja Mukamala in really a purple patch alongside Andres Kels. Monik Patel is batting well, and Aaron Jones is coming off a CPL final where he delivered the winning run. So this is a batting lineup that's full of confidence. If you get to 160, you give yourself a chance, but you're going to have to bowl out of your skin.
Yeah, it's a funny matchup, isn't it? Firstly, it's the first time we've seen a T20I between these sides. Secondly, with due credit to America's bowling and with due credit to Nepal's batting, probably the strength for both teams lays in what we'll see in the second innings. America's batting versus Nepal's bowling and fielding. That's kind of their stronger suits. Okay, there's no Lamachani today, so you might say maybe the advantage lies with USA. But these last 4 overs, they could well go a long way to dictating this contest. They'll want at least 10 per over from here as Jesse Singh returns. Nairi has been really positive, hasn't he, right from the off, putting America under lots of pressure in the field. This is the first ever edition of this Stake Stars and Summit Trophy 2024. Always love things being given a name. This is going to be a rivalry we'll see lots more of in years to come.
I would hope so. I mean, there's a big Nepali community here in the States. You can see it in numbers out here. Grand Prairie just continues to grow, and anytime these two teams play, there seems to be that fire. We already saw it with Ali Khan, and again, 2 teams that just make magic happen out there. You'd hope this becomes an annual thing.
Again, innovation attempted. You can see why he's looking for it. Third and fine leg both up in the circle. In general, I know it's a lot over the conditions they've played at, but we look at ODIs, 5 and 5. In general, they're 2 pretty closely matched sides as well.
Yeah, like you mentioned, it's usually been the bowling of Nepal versus the batting of the USA, and bowling of Nepal, they always just seem to pull something magical. I remember that ODI that ended in a tie. There was no way that game should have been a tie. USA had it all wrapped up, but Nepal just found a way in front of those home fans.
And the crowd are getting into it. They were chanting, Rohit, 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 as Singh ran up. He delivers a boundary, probably not where he wanted to, but they do just bring such energy, such passion, such enthusiasm, those Nepal fans, and it's 4 more to the total.
First 2 were slower. This one's seam up. The problem with this is the line of it. It's way too wide. It just allows Rohit Baudo to free the hands, and with third man inside the ring, anything is going to find the rope.
Well, I think the stare from Andreas House indicated that was not the plan. Wide and pace on. Okay, it's not exactly where Powell intended it, but an edge is good enough for 4. He's trying to hide it away, isn't he? He's trying to protect the shorter side. Remember, this is the second last over with the shorter leg side boundary. Well, that is extraordinary. The quality of innovation from Rohit Baudo. We saw him scoop 1 for 6 in King City. This hasn't gone all the way, but in many ways it's more impressive. And Andres House has the look of a keeper who's been battered and bruised by Nepal's captain.
Andres House looks to first slip as this one goes. He says, where's my slip cord? And because that's brilliant. Again, third man's inside the ring, so he's had to place that into the gap. And how about this? Jesse Singh went pace off. There wasn't pace on the ball, and Rohit Baudo is just showing that this is an area he can score in, and Andres House is not having a fun time returning to Dallas.
I don't think Andres House would make the greatest poker player, giving away every piece of his emotions as the ball is delivered. We've seen a fascinating fielding position now. Ali Khan is almost a kind of a a fly second slip, and the crowd chanting out, row it. They're on their feet. It's edged towards Ali Khan, but it's over his head. Make it a trio, a trifecta of boundaries. 4-4-4, all behind the keeper. And House, he's got his hands on his hips.
Well, when it's going your way, it's just going your way. He's moved into the perfect position, Ali Khan. They moved him there knowing that there's a delivery probably coming in that direction, and it's just hung over his head. Ali Khan's got up into the air, and he tried to do his best Odell Beckham Jr. impression, couldn't do it, and Andres Counts has more complaints about what's happening right now out there in the field.
Gotta give a bit of credit to the DJ as well. The DJ's pumping this crowd up in a big way. Great music coming out. We might have to go in and get a few Nepali tunes into it. What do you reckon?
Well, if there's anyone to do it, it's the man sitting to my left at the moment.
Bit of Nepali ho. Big Nepali ho fan. Maybe a bit of Tanka Timmel Sina ringing out around the Grand Prairie Stadium. 3 back-to-back boundaries. Final ball incoming. Down the ground this time, but Manang Patel moves so well in the field, doesn't he? Like many keepers do when they go to the outfield. 17 bowled. There are 14 runs from that over. 135 for 4.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Partners. अब पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोनपे त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो पैसा पठाउने र पाउने छिटो सजिलो र सुरक्षित माध्यम फोनपे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडौँ फोनपे गरौँ
No, you give yourself an opportunity to win the game. You're going to have to bowl incredibly well. Early wickets will be the key. If they can somehow manage to get to 174, you'd call them right in the contest. 158 would probably be low. They're probably trying to middle out around 165 and see where they can operate in there. And I think the Nepali fans would love it if you see another 13-run over, especially coming off with the man who's taken the new ball, Ali Khan.
Well, it's 7:06 a.m. back in beautiful Nepal, in Kathmandu and Bhairawan, Biratnagar. And if you're just waking up, this is going to be a box office over. Here comes Ali Khan. Guided away, and just short of Jesse Singh, who does well with the dive. Won't be able to prevent the second. You can see Powdle every time he's trying to use the pace on the ball. Very, very clever batting. Irie just can't seem to get on strike right now.
No, Irie's been held off, so not a bad result for USA. He's looking to play that much finer. There's 2 fielders in that area, so the USA have understood that Rohit Baldo's going to look to score here, and is daring him to play it extra fine, and hopefully for the Americans get a edge out to Andres Kels. But Paul, do you worry that Irie's just been held off strike now?
They want his pyrotechnics, don't they? And they're not getting them right now. Mid-off up in the circle. Long on goes back. Brilliant Yorker from the Yorker King. He does love occasions like this. You almost suspect if this was USA versus Oman or UAE, with due credit to them, I'm not sure Ali Khan would even be here. But it's just as soon as he heard Nepal are in town, all of a sudden the hand goes up. I'm available for that one.
Well, you mentioned the Instagram post he had. There was a look in the eye, wasn't there? He knows the occasion, and he's one of those cricketers that just sense the big moment. And hearing the crowd cheer him with every step he takes is only going to boost his confidence and boost his desire to want to affect the game, whether it's wearing 23, 47, or now 43.
Whipped into the leg side. That's a good stroke. There's 2 fielders out there. It's right between the 2 of them. And Netravalkar will have to do the fielding. They might think of a third on the arm here, but Netravalkar does enough to get it in. Yeah, you just sense Nepal need a late surge here. They're up to 140, 15 balls left. These 15 balls, they could decide the first game.
Yeah, very well could. Like you mentioned, you're going to have to find a way to find some boundaries, whether that's going to come off Jesse Singh. If that's the ball they've targeted, all right, you should have to get this over with probably 8 to 10 runs, just because you're behind that required run rate at the moment.
Good fast hands from Irie. It's an area that he favours, and it's another misfield. And almost every single fan, probably 1,500 or so now in the gates here in Grand Prairie, they're on their feet because they've come to watch this man, Dipendra Singh Irie.
It's been a spot of bother for the USA today, that backward point region. It's not that wide, but you can just see how quickly he got onto the back foot, how quick the hands were. think that's Saiteja Mukamala yet again. He's just unable to stop that one. Fast whip from Adrian does it, 4 runs.
Good Yorker, very well bowled. Now, Powell is so quick, they'll think of a second. They're going to get it easy. Exceptional between the wickets, these two. So fast. He's now the second-ranked T20I all-rounder in the world, Dipender Singh. He's only 14 points behind Liam Livingstone of England. Has been a bit of talk on a few of the fan forums in and around Nepal. They've never had anyone #1 in the world. Irie with a good series here. You just wouldn't know. There's that in-swinging Yorker from Ali Khan.
Yeah, you mentioned that the ability to get 2 off that was quite exceptional, but the ability to jump to #1, I think Nepal would just go crazy. I think they would have to fly you back there to just talk about that moment, Lenny.
Right into the slot and hammered away for 4. It's a big over. Ali Khan's gone the distance. In his final one, he goes for 15. Nepal are on the charge. It's 150 for 4.
No compromise with Dhara Sauji.
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नुहुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन
Mutu चाहिन्छ मुटु.
पैसा पठाउँ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडाउँ फोन पे गर हाम्रो चाडमा होमटाको खुसियाली बारमा
They've been really well priced. We're expecting close to full houses for both Saturday and Sunday. And if Nepal got off to a 1-0 lead in the series, you suspect a few more might cram in here to Grand Prairie.
It might be over capacity if we get a 1-0 lead here from Nepal. And again, this is the late surge they need, and we expect the fans to be out here every night. Beautiful nights here at Grand Prairie. You'll get to see a beautiful sunset, the moon rise, and then cricket under the lights.
Netravalkar to bowl the 19th. He's so clever here, isn't he? With these cutters, and the pace is going to come off. Now he's going to try target the leg side. It's the shorter boundary, 64 yards out to there. But this will be a game of cat and mouse here between these two.
You mentioned Netravalkar's ability to be very good in this situation, as we see this final boundary there, just away from the outstretched hand of Milind Kumar. Netravalkar usually would come around the wicket here, try to angle it into the right-handed batter, but since knowing that the short side is the leg side of the righty, he's going to push it out wide, slow it down, and dare Paudo to drag it all the way across.
Cut away. Now, there are 2 men out there, but Powell's got a good piece of it, and he'll pick up a couple. Nepal fans are starting to create the most marvellous atmosphere, all on their feet, all chanting, Nepal, Nepal. We're not right now in Tamil, in Kathmandu. We're here in Texas. Great scenes.
Yeah, brilliant. Starting to feel what I've heard in your YouTube videos there. Lenny, congratulations, 50,000 subscribers on the channel.
We got there, yeah.
And
Had to pull a few teeth to get there.
And it's because of things like this, to see the atmosphere live on that. And again, we're getting to see a piece of that now in this final over.
We're now chanting row it again. Hammered away over the head of a man. It's a maximum, and they're dancing in the stands here in Grand Prairie. One of their favourite sons, the national team captain, Rohit Paudel, he goes to 40, and things starting to move Nepal's way.
Fielder was in place. Paudo's just connected sweetly. It's all gone to plan for Sarab Netravalkar here. He slowed it down. He's got him to drag it outside the off stump, but he's just cleared it with ever such ease. And this is brilliant as Paudo now moves past 40. He's on to 46, and he's given these Nepali fans something to cheer about.
For me, they've got their 2 best T20 batters right now at the crease. I know Gulshan Jah has been exceptional in recent times. I know Kushal Bertel got off to a flying start in his T20I career, but these two, for me, are their 2 best batters. Their highest run scorer and their national team captain. He's just accelerated through the gears beautifully here, isn't he? He was going at, well, barely even a run a ball in the 20s, and he's just caught up in a matter of moments. That 175, maybe even 180 could be on the cards. Big 9 deliveries left. Gets it into the block hole. Will just be a single. 50 partnerships come up now. I think that has actually brought it up to 60 these two have put on. How important has this partnership been?
It changed the game. Again, when we saw Gulshan Jah go, you just felt, all right, this could go really either way. With Dipender Singh Irie walking in the 13th over. how are they going to be able to manufacture that 180 total we're talking about? There you go, 66 from just 37 deliveries, and again, game changing, and it's put the USA under pressure. We haven't seen it in the last month where the USA have felt panicked out there in the field, and right now there's a lot of hanging heads, there's a lot of wandering eyes searching for what the right answer is for this partnership.
A whip into the offside, protection out there and taken. That's the disparity in the boundary lengths. You can see it there, fast hands from Irie. You can't blame him for taking it on. He's probably trying to get it over extra, but it just skews a little bit off the outside edge. He's gone for a rapidly made 28, doesn't look overly pleased. The question is, who's going to replace him? Surely it's got to be Karen KC.
You'd have to imagine. It's not a bad option. Again, the fast hands looking to take the Yorker over top of cover. Aaron Jones, welcome back to USA Colors, taking his first catch back, but well done here from the USA. Well done, though, from Depinder Singh Irie. His 28, a valuable contribution. It's 159 for 5.
फोन पे चल्छ है चलिहाल्छ नि बस्नुस् अब पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोनको लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो पैसा पठाउने र पाउने छिटो सजिलो र सुरक्षित माध्यम फोन पे डाइरेक्ट नगद छोडौँ फोन पे गरौँ
Remarkable servant. He really is. He's been exceptional for an awfully long time. He's the most capped T20I player, just a couple of caps ahead of Depinder Singh Irie and Sampal Kami, and he hits a big ball straight down the ground. And he may well have snuck off from his very first delivery. He has. Netravalkar was convinced, Karen KC a little less so, and after what seemed like an age, the finger does go up, caught behind and gone for a golden duck as it did here. Gajar does get the finger up, albeit it took a little while to do so.
Yeah, this was an interesting passage of play, wasn't it? Netravalkar was convinced. Is that a little deflection? Has it just come off? I think it has. And you can see Netravalkar straight away was asking for it. And then right there, that's the moment. Karan KC not as convinced, but back-to-back strikes for Netravalkar. Karan KC goes without troubling the scorers, 159 for 6.
भाग्यले जहिले साथ देला या नदेला तर ई-सेवा लाइफ केयरले दिनेछ starting from just rupees 760 a year. Get coverage up to 5.3 lakhs. Download the e-sewa app and secure your future today.
For 35, here's Jesse Singh to bowl the final. Now, that could well be a no ball. It's going to be very marginal. The two umpires have a look at each other and decide that it was dipping beneath the waist of Rohit Paudel as Arif Sheikh is in at number 8, who'll come on to strike now. This was marginal.
Very marginal. Could have been gone either way. And this has kind of been the real story of Jesse Singh's career, especially bowling in the death. He struggles here. This is the wicket. Again, this is the reason we're going to see Arif Sheikh on strike. And it's just come off the edge. Right there, you reckon. I think he's both got the bottom edge to hit the ground and the top edge to get through to the keeper.
Carved away by Arif Sheikh, but straight to the man. And well held by Shaihan Jahangir. It's a late glut of wickets falling. That's 3 in 4 deliveries, and the momentum is being sapped out of Nepal's innings. It's another golden duck. The first one was Karen KC, and now Arif Sheikh. You can't really blame him. He struck it well, targeted the shorter side, but he picked out the deep cover fielder.
Yeah, anywhere to the right or left of Shaihan Jahangir would have been 6 runs, but the keeper by trade uses his hands quite well out in the deep. It's gone high, it's flat, it's quick. And he's done well to hold on to this in the end and keep his feet straight there. Well done, Shaihan Jahangir. And Nepal starting to falter now, 159 for 7.
आज पनि the wall had all senior big jobless sata to big hanio it's the big coming big
Why choose between your favorites when you can have both? Introducing Pizza Hut's new Momo Mia.
Mamma mia.
Best of both worlds on one plate. Momo Mia Pizza. Test the epic. Starting at $7.29. Pizza Hut. There's something for everyone.
as Nepal have lost 3 wickets in 4 balls, but he's done just what his team needed and got his captain onto strike. Well, he wants the second. Could well nearly be run out, but he gets home safely. Questionable call. Surely Powell should have been on strike.
Yeah, I don't love that option, especially with what Bodo did to Jesse Singh in Singh's last over. Hit him for 3 consecutive boundaries. Again, you like the aggressive running, but this is not the situation for it. And I just think the quick feet from Nepal got in their own way. Singh, this has been really the trouble signs for him, is in the death. He's improved leaps and bounds since that major league competition where he came in and was a revelation, but this will be a new test for him, trying to figure it out in the death.
Now the question is this out? It is, because it's we're not in a great position. It's bowled him, sorry. It's straight through, and Jesse Singh has made him pay the price for taking that second run. There's confusion everywhere out there. Jesse Singh's appealing, and Vijay Malala says, can't give it out, it's bowled.
Yeah, we saw the finger very low. I was like, is that a new dismissal option there? But no, he just pointed out the stumps. Again, interesting to see Simple Kami take the second run, because surely one Rohit Baldo taking that wild hack. Instead, he's just opened up the stumps. He's trying to go through the leg side. And yeah, you can see there, through bat and pad, hits the top of off, and Jesse Singh hasn't realized that.
Singh is still appealing. He's still appealing. Another Nepali batter falls. It's all happening in the final 8 or 9 deliveries here. Sampal Kami is bowled for 2. It's 162 for 8.
No compromise with Dhara Sauji.
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नुहुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन
Mutu चाहिन्छ sir, mutu.
Another appeal from Jesse Singh, as it's Sagar Dakal who gets a single, which is going to be given as a leg bye. It means Powell will finally get onto strike. He's a bit stranded. We think he might actually be on 48. And our graphics have just had a little bit of a meltdown here, being honest. We'll give you the score as we have it. We think it's 163 for 8. The scoreboard in the ground is also currently down. That's disagreeing with what we have. I think everyone's got confused by Sampal Kami running that second.
That and just the calamity of wickets that just fell. Everything happened really in short succession for the USA, taking a lot of steam out, but Baldo will have an opportunity at 50, but he's left too many balls on the table where he wasn't on strike, Lenny.
This is the final delivery of the innings. We are pretty sure the score is 163 for him, although the scoreboard on the ground shows 161. We'll get that checked. Powell 2 away from 50. Gets it down towards long off. Now Dakel's going to try run the second. Powell's really going to have to go to get home, and he's going to be run out just short of what would have been yet another T20I 50. Selfless cricket from the captain. There's been an absolute collapse of wickets. We have seen 5 wickets fall in the last 7 balls, remarkably. Absolute carnage for the scorers. We think the score is 164 for 9, but we're not altogether certain.
Not altogether certain. What we are certain about is that we didn't see enough of Rohit Baldo in that final over. He had to have been on strike for more than just the 2 deliveries he faced. He had to be there to face the majority of it. He's done well to claw his team into this position alongside Depinder Singh Airi. We talked about that partnership, 66 off 37 at one point, but you just don't feel they've had enough runs on the board yet, Lenny.
Yeah, really good recovery from that position of 93 for 4 when Gulshan Jha was dismissed with a rather ambitious stroke attempting to reverse sweep or switch hit Harmeet Singh. And we are not going to be able to bring you scorecards because, yeah, it's complete carnage. The latest we have is we think the score is 164 for 9. I'm just going to guide you through the batting efforts. Anil Shah and Asif Sheikh both made 27 at the top. Kushal Patel in his new role at number 3, 10 off 13.
Like गरिदिनु केटा,
Two
ब्रेक
standard
पछि
innings for
आउँछु
me
लाइक
with a
गरिदिनु
49
सब्स्क्राइब